in this computer. All right, so we're gonna be doing the Tinder
Swindler.
Swindler first.
I could at least say that, but I couldn't say from familiarity. Familiar or whatever. Familiarity.
Whatever. You know what we're talking about. All right.
I hope I said the right thing the other day when I was like ominous.
Yeah.
I think I said that correctly. I think I had to think about it. I was like, I hope I said it right.
I think you did. All right. Good morning.
No. Well, it's still morning. It's not 12. It's not 12 yet.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. My name is Monique, and I have the other host of this podcast, Uni. And on today's episode, we will be talking and reviewing the new hit Netflix movie called the Tinder Swindler. Yeah. So we'll kind of give you all like a recap or a review of what the movie was about, and then we'll dive into it, not only giving our review, but kind of giving our opinions on it. So if at any time, or if you have not already watched this and you don't want any spoilers, please go to our catalog of other videos and watch that, and then come back to this one once you've already watched the Tinder Swindler on Netflix. All right, so
it'll just get you upset though. I feel like watching the Tinder Swindler would just be like,
I don't know about upset. It made me more paranoid in the sense of, okay, let's start with what it is, right? You want to kind of give her because you have a better memory than I do. Do you want to? I think you do.
Okay, then you fill in the blanks.
Yeah. So we'll give you guys all a summary of what it is, and then we'll dive in. That way we kind of ground or level set what this whole thing was about.
The Tinder Swindler is about a Tinder swindler. So most of us, I guess nowadays, not me anymore, can't. Most of us have gone on online dating, but how much is that person that you're trying to interact with is actually true? And so there's actually people there looking for love, and you find that out from a girl who ends up talking to this man that looks like and seems like the best catch in the world. And basically he tricks her into giving him thousands and thousands upon thousands of dollars by making up these crazy stories and concoctions and everything else. And he uses this money to pay for other women that he's also dating to get them into his crazy lies and as well, and have them pay him more money. It is upsetting, but we're going to go into detail of why.
Yeah, and one thing that I want to mention, because I think most people will focus on the romantic side of the Tinder Swindler, but he also scammed another woman that she was not dating him. It was more like she was looking for more of a friendship with him. He's also swindled men, women out of different things. So like I think one that I remember where he was babysitting for someone's child and swindled them out of money. Business deals that he was going to be making with other people and swindled them out of money. So it's not just he didn't just do it on through dating. He did other avenues of this. So it's not where he was just swindling the people for love, but there are other things that he was doing it for. One thing that I do want to say is I didn't like that the two young ladies were getting negative backlashes, like, that's what happens when you're a gold digger and all kind of stuff. Because one of them said, no, if I was a gold digger, I wouldn't be giving away my money.
I don't think the girl at the beginning was a gold digger at all.
No, she was romanticizing love.
She was a hopeless romantic.
Yeah, she and I think she still is. That I'm kind of afraid for her that this may happen to her again. Just because like some of the things, it was like almost like a fairy tale for her, like, Prince Charming comes and sweep you up. And it's like, though, I don't know about you, Uni, but when I was watching it, I was like, no, that's a red flag. Why would you do that? That he has enemies. From someone that I don't know like that, like I'm only talking to you for a couple of days or whatever, and you tell me I have enemies after me, I'm like, okay, good luck with that.
But if you saw her filming everything. You saw her filming the jet plane and everything else
But
because I don't
question, would you have gone on the very first date on a jet plane?
know, the dude is trying to traffic me. Where are you trying to traffic me to? We're going to Brazil? Where are we going? I don't
Because
feel
like
like being sold. I don't
I
feel like
don't
being sold. I don't care if you have a jet plane and I'm getting on it. Has she watched Taken? Has she watched
that's
any of
what I was like, you know what? I think it has to probably do with like number one, your mentality. Cause like it says, she was romantic. I don't consider myself a romantic. That makes like someone or a guy being overly romantic and everything for me makes me vomit because I'm not an overly romantic person. So
yeah,
those
I
are more
mean,
like red flags for me. But to me, I don't know if it's because of like how we grew up, where we grew up suspicious of everyone. Even to this day, we're suspicious of people that, yeah, even like,
cars, animals looking at us weird, like, why that
what's the
squirrel looking at
problem?
me? Yeah, why are you following me? You have to be that way. I just don't think she was like, if you told her, if you listen to her talk about Beauty and the Beast, and here's this guy and this girl, and they have this chance to be in love, and that was her whole thing. Like, she probably just saw her like, it reminded me of like the Princess, not the Princess Bride, but there's like all those 90 movies back in the 90s where it's like, there's this one chance, and then like, is she gonna stand outside with a boombox and playing, for her love? And it was just, she was just,
She was just
I don't mean to
overly,
shame her or
no,
at
no,
all,
no,
but
no.
she was gullible and naive, and there's a part of her that really needs growth and growing. I I'm sorry to say that I feel like she was an idiot. She was.
That's why I'm like, I'm not shaming
I
her.
don't mean
I
it. I
feel
don't think
no,
she's
but I feel
dumb.
like it's based on experiences because, like, say maybe the life that I don't know her full background or anything, but maybe the life and the world that she has created for herself, she hasn't really come across anyone to cause alarm. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, like growing up in the city, we grew up in the Bronx, and it's not to say anything bad about the Bronx, but it's like, you remember like in middle school, like we were walking around with knives, like, someone's gonna try to
With a
stab
lock
me, I'm
in
gonna
our
stab them
fists.
back,
Yeah.
like it's, I don't know. And like growing up, you would hear about like people being trafficked. Like as a kid, you heard about people being abducted,
My mom was
not just
almost
in
taken.
not just in New York, but like from other states
Anywhere.
and
My
countries
mom
and stuff
was
like
almost
that.
taken. This guy came up to my mom and was like, my mom always took the same bus from, my mom used to work in Queens and Flushing, Queens, and we lived in the Bronx. And this guy, he must have been watching my mom for a while because my dad always picked up my mother. And whatever it was, maybe my dad was running late, my mom was early. This guy came up to my mom, was approaching her and was like, your husband sent, I'm friends with your husband. He sent me to come get you. And she's like, I don't know who you are. And he was like, come on, here's my car. I'll drive you home. Your husband came. This guy was trying to kidnap my mother. My dad never sent this man. My dad was like running late. He pulled up his car and was like, hey, what's going on? The guy got into his car and zoomed off. People get taken. For her to be like, he took me on a plane. It's just like,
Not even that, but her
are you
friends were
that
like,
girl?
"Oh my gosh, that's so nice." I think only one friend in the text messages was like, aren't you afraid of being abducted?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I never thought about that." I would
And
have been like, yeah, we, because it was where it was like they met at the hotel. Even then, I would be like, why we need to meet at a hotel? But understand, depending on place, hotels have like restaurants and bars and stuff like that. And then that same day is like, oh, you want to go away? I'll be like, hell no, I don't know who the hell you are.
I'm sorry. I mean, because I know you have your passport, but I don't have a passport. I'm sorry, I don't have one. So if some guy was like approached me and was like, "Hey, we're gonna get on this jet plane, and you need a passport," I'd be like, "Well, you gotta wait like 2, 3 months because I can't get it anytime soon. You're not taking me out of this country. How about we go to one of those crab shacks? I won't mind doing that with you. Like, if we don't need to, you know what? Why don't we talk when you come back? If it's supposed to be, it'll be."
Because I don't know, like, in your experience, your past experiences of, online dating, because I never did Tinder, I did like other apps, but I feel like a lot of people utilize the texting phase of, like, when you're talking, whatever, to like now when we actually meet in person, we're very familiar with one another, where I know I'm very hesitant with that, because I feel like just because I'm texting you or talking to you doesn't mean I know you. We could be talking or texting for 2-3 months, but if I'm now meeting you, for me, we're starting at day one now, because I don't know who you really are. Now that I'm seeing you, now I'm looking, are you matching up with what you said to me? Because I don't know, being an introvert, I know that sometimes it's easier to text or say certain things I would never really say out of my
Say out
mouth.
loud. Yeah.
But like, say now we're in person, are you still the same person that we were texting and everything like that?
I
And
mean,
even then, I'm not jumping on a private jet where, like you said, you could go chop up my body or like traffic me, and now my family can't even find me.
I think that's the whole thing. Like, I know with Tinder, it was nice to be able to talk to people. And it was also nice not to talk to these people. Like, you could shut it off. You had no actual commitment to these people. So, yes, I think if you're talking for a long period of time, you're comfortable. It makes your walls go down a little
Down,
bit.
yeah.
You feel a little better talking to them because you feel like this chick did not know him. She didn't
She
know
didn't know
nothing.
him, and it's like,
For a minute. It was a
and then
minute.
the money thing, like, from when okay, like, this is where I know I am like, me, Uni, me, you smile at me, that's a red flag. You tell me, right? Oh, now I want us to be boyfriend and girlfriend, but before, we start, I need to be honest with you. I'm like, huh? And then he's like, oh, I have enemies, and these enemies are following me. I was like, it was nice meeting you. And,
I don't want
good
anything to
luck
do
with
with that.
that. Good luck
I don't
with
want
that.
anything to do with that. And that's the whole thing. I would just be, I think what happened, because we're not explaining everything, is that he showed her this lifestyle. He
Hmm.
presented this lifestyle to her. So yes, it's different when you say it and not have anything to back it up, but he did have things to back it up. He had people working for him. He had the bodyguard working for him. He had a jet plane. He took her places. They were eating caviar. She said she never had it before. All this other stuff. So yeah, where would you not? You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, no,
I would
no.
also be,
It's like those things, yes, because
he
like I said,
did it up.
she was in the romance of it, and it goes down to the type of man, because she even talked about like the profile that she had, and it reminded me of a conversation we had, but like her profile pictures, where it's like she said, you have one of your face, one of your body, one of you with friends, one of you doing some type of activity or whatever, because that's the type of guy that she wants to attract.
Yeah.
Whereas with me, like when they were looking at his profile, that for me is a red flag, in the sense of, if you're a guy that has all this money, you have all this thing, why are you on Tinder? Rich people have different apps for other rich people.
For me, I would just think that he was just looking to hook up.
Exactly. Like, I
If he
wouldn't, like, she was like,
wanted.
oh, I want a serious relationship. I wouldn't take someone with that type of profile as someone that's looking for a serious relationship. Because like I said, if you are a billionaire or whatever, you are going to be on a different app.
Mhm.
You're not going to be on Tinder
No,
unless you
there
can
is
say
a
you're looking
different
for
app.
random
There is a
hookups.
different app. I almost got on this different app, but you have to be invited to this app.
No, you
So,
have, and they do background checks on
oh yeah.
you.
So I had a friend, well, she wasn't really a friend. She's the one that I don't like, who thinks she's Jesus.
Mhm.
And she was like, Uni, we're gonna get you a man, blah, 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 blah. You know, she's in that club. And she gave me the app, and you have to sign in and do all this other stuff, and you're only going to deal with high value men who are looking for high, I'm not high value woman, but they only deal with high value women. But that's the websites that they go on. They have their own
They
thing.
have their
They
own
have,
thing to
they have their
attract
own
the.
invite. to get to somebody who's similar, who has money, who does all those things. This dude, though, he did. I mean, he really sold
No, because
it.
like, let's take away everything,
And
like
the
the money.
Google and everything else.
Google betrayed
Yeah,
her because
Google's gonna sue us now.
because like she did what she thought was her due diligence, right? By Googling this person and everything. He was very good because like she would Google, like everything on Google matched what he was saying, telling her about it. Because even like I look at it, like say, you know, you meet the guy, like he doesn't have to be a billionaire or a millionaire, but you know, like a regular guy on your same level financially
Yeah.
or whatever. And he does not all these things. Let's say, for example, you know, you go out to dinner, then, you know, he's like, oh, let's go away for the weekend together, whatever. And things are moving fast because, you know, you feel like you have this connection. I think I could see where you could get caught up in that, but from the moment now, and this is where it kind of got tricky for her. I would not have done it the second time. I would have done it the first time. My personality.
But let's say if you did do it,
Yeah,
the first
like
time.
say, and what we're talking about is money. When he asked her, okay, can I, you know, my enemies are tracking me. We're closing down all my accounts because they're
But he
tracking
sent
me.
her a picture. Didn't he send her? Because we also have to remember he sent her pictures of his bodyguard.
No, that was the second time.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so it was like where, you know, she's like, okay, well, you know what? He has the money. He's just in a bind right now. I'm gonna send him the money. Mia will be like, don't ask me for money. That's a turn off. We're done. But like she sent it
I
to
would
him
just
or
feel like I
whatever.
don't have the money.
No,
I
I think
don't
the first time she had it to give. Then the second time she didn't have it, so she had to take out a loan. And that's the one where he showed where the video of the bodyguard in the ambulance with blood gushing out his head and the EMS person trying to help him and he has blood all over him. To me, at this point, I would be like, where the hell are your parents?
Yeah, I would be like, do you need me to contact your parents? Do you need me to do any of these things? Because I don't have it. And I guess when you're, I guess in my situation financially as well, and probably yours too, even though you're good, I would just be honest and be like, I don't have it and I can't take out a loan.
No, he meant, and in order to take out a loan or whatever for her to get more money. So he quote unquote paid her back for the first one, but the money never really went through. And then the second one, in order to get the amount that he needed, he made her, because I watched it again this morning, he made her a employee of his company.
Yeah.
That way she could get like a higher loan taken out or whatever. But to me, if you're able to do this, why can't your company foot the bill? Why is it that you're not asking your parents for this money? Why you're asking me?
She was a little.
And this is why I feel like you need people, because like say to me is like, when I actually like a guy, I do tell you about the person. If the person's not going to stay, you never knew the person existed. But you know, you start sharing things. And like I said, I understand like when you're caught up in the romance of things, you're not really thinking it through.
But I would have asked you, maybe, I don't know. I would have asked you, I would have been like, yeah, this dude just told me this and that, da, 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 da. You know, I'll explain the whole situation. You would probably be like, that doesn't sound right, Uni.
Please, Uni, like even with like you had like a situation where someone that you knew in high school was going through a hard time and whatever. And what did I say? That sounds like a scam. Why all of a sudden this person is reaching out to you for not even like $1, but this is a significant amount of money that they're asking you for. They never talked to you in years. What's the scam that's going on? Right? Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's like one of those things where I'm like, I could see where you're like, okay, this is my boyfriend or whatever. He needs help. But now you're asking me to take out more than, and that's what I know.
He wasn't even there.
I know I'm ranting there. But that's why it's like with her, I felt like she was really caught up in the whirlwind of having that movie romance thing, you know, and a guy with that type of job, you probably wouldn't see him as much. But that's why I feel like for me personally, I can't have that type of person because I need quality time. I need to see you more than once. And I'm sorry, I can't just meet you today and then 3 weeks later I'm your girlfriend. It doesn't work like that in my book.
But if I don't even see you and all this, I don't know. She moved to, I'm not saying you can't move quick
No,
in a
but it's like she met
relationship,
him once or
but
twice and that was it.
I think her is the romantic because she even intimately bonded with him within
I mean,
hours.
that's fine. That's fine if you
And
want to
that's
do that.
fine.
But to me, it's
But
just
there's some people that can intimately be with somebody and have no real connection and bond. It's just like you're having a fun time. Have fun. I think with her, it led her to feel connected
no,
with him.
because he was love bombing her. Because it's like he was using the tactic
She met
of,
his family. She met the ex-girlfriend and his kid. Like
oh, that girl. We have to talk about that girl because I would kill that girl. But I'm sorry. We're sorry if we're just heated right now. Okay. But I felt like with her, he was love bombing her. Remember, like you said, they were sending videos to one another. They were sending
oh,
voice
I love
messages.
you. I
So it
miss
was like where
you.
he
I'm
made
sorry, I'm
her
chewing
feel
gum.
like we are connecting, although I'm not physically there. We are connecting on we have
But I
other
feel
ways
like
that we're connecting.
anything would have, oh, he sent me flowers and anything. He knew what he already had at the very beginning.
No, he knew he had a good mark, but that one was just, to me, it's like I understood, like, being, because I'm, like I said, I'm not a romantic person. I'm not sure if you are, but I'm not a romantic person. That would have been a red flag for me. But I could see someone that is within the whole romance thing, how you could easily be love bombed and everything. But from when you're asking for me to now give you money, I don't have. To me, that is a huge red flag that just cannot be ignored. And that's one thing I like about this, them coming out with this, is because I feel like by you watching it and seeing it, now you could be aware of, like, when someone does it, it kind of puts you in the mind, like, okay, wait, this was done somewhere before. Maybe this is a red flag. I should pay a lot of attention. But let's go on to the second lady, which was the friend.
I'm sorry with her. I thought she was older than me. I'm not trying to say anything.
I don't think she was an older woman than him.
I thought she was older than us.
I don't know. I don't know, because but one thing, and I'm like, maybe I'm not looking for friendships, but like, especially in this
It's a different
stage,
crowd. It's a different crowd when it comes to people who are rich like that. I'm telling you, nothing against rich people, because we try to get rich too.
we're trying to be rich too, yeah.
We try to be rich too. But I don't think we'd be rich like that, because in that aspect, in that personality, because that's how they do act. It's odd because we're not in that world, but that's how it is. It's like they like that kind of friendship because it's who you know.
Yeah.
It's who you know. It's who you know for benefits of things for the future. So I know this person, I'm going to be friends with this person. Even if I slept with him once or we went on a date, he's going to be my friend, because then later on I could call on him when I need something for maybe my business or for
So it's more
whatever.
like connections they're looking for, like not
They're
real.
looking for,
It's not what I would
networking.
consider a friendship. Yeah, it's not what I would consider a friendship. It's more connections. With her, like I said, I don't know. Like, one thing that it
Not
is
to
like,
on rich people. If you want to
no,
watch,
and you have regular people that are like that too, because they're trying to climb the ladder or make connections with people. But I feel like from once because he borrowed the money and then he gave her back money more than what he had borrowed, right?
Yeah.
I would have seen if the check cleared. If it didn't clear, I'm not giving you any more money.
Mm-hmm. But she's not going to think that way, because again, he did the same thing with her by showing the first one, by showing this lifestyle, and he was able to present that in such a way. She said he paid for everything. When the check came, it was already paid for. We went on a jet plane. We went here, we went there. He paid for everything. All the expenses were paid. So imagine, I paid for everything for you, Monique, all day, all week. Matter of fact, I paid for everything for our whole vacation, our whole week. Are you going to think I have no money? Or are you going to think I do have money? If you already
No,
Googled
no, no,
me,
no. That's what I said. If I Googled you or whatever, and Google
you see I'm
says
the
that you
king
are
of
who you
Prince
are,
of Diamonds, and then you see I'm the Prince of Diamonds, you're gonna be like, oh,
okay, she's
well,
cool.
if she really does need money, she's gonna give it back to me. You're not gonna keep checking. And it seems like this lady already has money, so she's
No,
not.
she has money, so it's like he's just another person in her
Yeah, she's not
world.
checking with
But
her.
that's what I'm saying. But I guess the thing with
You have
me,
no money. You check your account every day.
but I guess the thing with me is like you borrow. I don't want you asking me again. Like say you asked me, you quote unquote gave me back or whatever. Don't ask me again until a couple of years down, because now I'm like, you're taking me for a bank and I'm not a bank. Whether you give me more than what I than whatever it was, I'm not, I don't know. I'm just, when it comes to my money, I don't play.
I guess it's
But
because he gave her what he borrowed 100,000 and
no, he
he gave
gave
her
her
250,
more.
like
Mm-hmm.
250. If I saw that and I saw him pay all this money and everything else, I think I would be, if I had the money to begin with in my accounts and everything else, and I was good, I think I would be a sucker too and be like, well, he's gonna
No,
give
no,
me
no. That's the
money
same.
on
But it's
top
like
of
from the now the second time I'm asking you for money, because even like it was when I was watching it, he was like the second time or whatever that he got even more, he couldn't pay her back, and I think the second time is when she noticed that the check wasn't clearing, and he's like, oh, come, I'll give you one of my Rolex watches. And I was thinking, like, the second time I watched, like, why could he go and pawn it? Like, he has all these Rolex. Are you telling me you're gonna give me the watch for me to go pawn it to get the money that you owe me?
And
Then if you
I
need
mean,
money, go
a
pawn your
Rolex
stuff.
doesn't cover any of that.
Because it was fake.
A Rolex doesn't cover a lot, any of that.
And the one that he gave was like a fake Rolex. So it's like, you're telling me to do certain things, but you're not doing it yourself. But one thing she did, and I was screaming at the TV, was when she found out about the first girl.
Yeah.
And she was working with the investigators. And one thing I have to say, those reporters are true detectives. Because I
Yeah.
didn't realize like how in
Stuff.
depth their job is, that they're traveling and they're like digging through things and putting pieces together. One
The
thing,
mother, I felt bad because the mother seemed like she lived in a,
yeah, like in the, not such a nice place,
and
you
she
could
had
put it.
bills and everything, and her son left her. And
And
he
it's
did
like
it.
she's used to people coming up showing for him, because once she was like, what are you here for? At first I thought she was a neighbor, just a nosy
Yeah, me
neighbor.
too. Me
She's
too.
like, what are you here for? I'm like, okay, Miss Nosy, go about your business. But
I
no,
felt bad
but with
for
her,
her.
when she got with the investigators or whatever, the reporters, and they were trying to build the story, and she got in the car, and they were waiting, and he noticed that there was a camera there or whatever, and then they got in the car, he was driving crazy. I was screaming at the TV, but like, who are these people? Are they your enemies? Oh my gosh, get me out. And then when she said, I was like, thank God she had some sense, because
Oh yeah.
like, you don't want to get wrapped up in it, that he now knows that you did it. Now you're no one can find you.
No, and that's the whole thing because he seems just about crazy enough to do something like that.
I don't know, I think he's a punk.
He
Sorry.
definitely is a
He's
punk.
a punk. Like, threatening them, like, oh, your family. And that's the thing I wanted to ask you.
Mm,
The first one.
mm.
He knows where he knows her mom's number. He knows where her mom lives. No one except for one person that I've dated knows my parents' number or where my parents live.
Yeah, I don't think anybody except for, my ex-husband and my current partner know where, even my son's father doesn't know anybody's numbers.
No, because I feel like I don't know, maybe it's just me. I feel like my
I mean,
parents are
let
very
somebody in.
precious.
Yeah.
And unless I physically meet your parents, and we've been going out for maybe a year, where I'm like, yeah, this is something that is going to last, I don't introduce you to my peoples. My peoples may know about you, they may hear about you and everything, but I normally don't introduce you to my people, because I feel like my people are precious. I don't want that if things go south, now you're using my people as leverage.
Yeah,
And this is just like with normal people, you know what I mean? This is not like someone that even have the means to do something.
I think it's okay to a certain extent, but again, she's seen this dude up close
Once or twice. Yeah.
I think twice. Let's say even maybe I didn't pay attention 3 times. Why does dude know your mom's, know where she lives, knows her phone number? Why does she know any of this stuff? You didn't go on dates with her. You haven't taken her anywhere. You have her pay for her airplane tickets to meet you in places. She pays for everything. And this is what you're going to do. I'm sorry, naive, gullible, and she was being an idiot.
And she hasn't even met his parents. You're not, I don't know, like I said, like my family is precious to me. I'm not giving you what you're not giving me. So if I'm not meeting your parents, I haven't gone to dinners or whatever with your parents, you're not doing that with mine.
I hate to say, I'm not saying age does everything, but I don't know how old she was. Like how old?
She was not young.
You think so?
She was not young to be like this. I think it was more of the romantic thing, because age doesn't have to do with a lot. I think it's maturity and maturity in dating. Because like say like if you're not a person that, and she dated a lot, but if you're not a person that is mature in certain areas. Huh? No, she had one good friend, because her friend was like, why are you getting on a plane? Aren't you afraid of being trafficked or something like that? That was the only friend that I saw that didn't say, oh my gosh, good for you, enjoy, live your best life. That was only one that was like, aren't you afraid of being trafficked?
Yeah, they don't have like, I don't know. She was,
and I'm like, I wonder how her mom was too, because I know my mom
would have been like, why are you taking out all these loans? But at the same time,
not having loans, like, where are you going? You know, like, I don't live with my parents, but if you're close enough for him to have your mom's number, you're telling your mom about your relationship with this person. Mm-hmm. So isn't she saying, wait, this don't sound, because I know my mom will be like, you broke sticking in your ears?
Probably just, you know what, people, I think sometimes, a lot of times, people know what's wrong. And then sometimes they don't want to tell you the whole situation. So they're only going to tell you bits and pieces. So she probably said, there's this nice guy, his father owns a diamond company. And apparently there's tons of diamond people all over the place, because the second girl was like, oh, this is this, like
the second diamond person. Yeah. I mean, from what she was saying, that like diamond people are not good to date.
But this is the thing. I'm sorry. And I hate to be the girl that's going to be on her looks and aesthetics, because I know, you know, aesthetics is not everything when it comes to dating. But how did she, I know, Monique, how did she get these guys looking like that?
No. Let's go back, because you told me about, I sent you that lady that murdered all those people, those husbands.
I'm like, I looked
at her and I asked you how that lady got all them men to murder, and you said it was based on her personality.
But her personality wasn't, I guess.
No, she seemed like a sweet person. Like she seems like a very sweet person. But that's why you can see he was just looking for a mark. That's why they were friends. He didn't turn her into a girlfriend.
He's like, I could use her for later. She has money. I could use her for later.
Yeah. Because remember, he made sure like he did the friend thing where like she met his new girlfriend. I want to know what happened to that one, but the new girlfriend, and like he was really bringing her into his life like friends, in the sense of, I don't know. I think I'm just too cautious, because like say anyone that I met after middle school, like for you to be introduced to my parents, like friends wise too, like friends wise, I have to know that you are actually going to be staying with me for a long time, because that's, like I said, that's too precious for me to just be having random people just meeting my people.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of my friends now have ever met my mother or my sister. I think the only people who have met them is my current partner,
And
and
the ones
that's
that came to my baby's birthday.
yeah,
But
but it's
but
not.
because of the
It's at
birthday,
my
yeah.
house. It's at
Yeah,
my house,
yeah,
and nobody
yeah.
really, had uh, a talk with them. But that girl, I like the last girl.
Oh, she was a gangster.
I like the last girl
She didn't care anything about nobody. That third girl was like, F all of y'all, I'm getting my money. Good
because
luck.
thank goodness though for the two girls who were swindled
Before,
at the beginning.
so this girl, because he's dating all these girls or these women at the same time, and they all have this like similar looks, like the blonde hair or whatever. Now, this one, the third one, she was actually going to meet him somewhere, I think it was. And like, you know how on your phone, sometimes like if you have news feeds coming in, she saw the article. So based on what these two other women were doing. And she, she called him because she saw his name. And he was like, oh no, that's my enemies trying to these enemies. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh,
Anyway,
I pay, you could pay enemies to do this for you. Okay.
yeah, no, but so he's like, oh no, it's my enemies or whatever. But she had the foresight to be like, let me download this and I'm gonna read this on the plane. And she read it on the plane. I think she confronted him or whatever. And then she's like, no, I'm gonna get she was more concerned about her money. And
She
I think
already gave like him 2 loans already or
yeah.
something like that.
And then it's like what I like she did, she was like, oh, I could help. And I'm like, I think that's me, but not so mean. But it's like, she was like, I could help you.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
help you, because this time he couldn't do anything. He couldn't go on Tinder and get more victims because now his name was out there. Everyone knew who he was. So he was like in a safe house hiding or something. And she went there. She's like, I could help you. You need money. I don't have the money. She was like, I don't have the money, but you have all these expensive clothes and expensive jewelry. And she was like, she knew because she worked in that industry, like what was real, what was fake. I can sell it for you and I could take that money and give it to you for you to get away from your enemies or whatever the business is. She took all his things, went back home, sold the thing, and didn't give him a dime. And he was like cussing her out.
she was
He
still
was
getting the money. Like she's still selling
she
things
was getting the
while
money, but it's like I
going
think I
on.
would have done it up to that point. But the part that she did that I think I wouldn't have done, because I would have probably shared the money with the other victims
I
to kind of
would have
help them
the
with their
same.
debt. That would have, but she was like, F all of y'all. What I will do is help you catch him, but I'm keeping this money for me.
It didn't even, well, at the end of the day, it didn't even matter that they caught him.
No, because it didn't catch him for what it was. And he's still on Tinder.
He is actually making money, has a new girlfriend. He actually gives advice to people of how to become rich. And he's making, I think each session is like 300 and something dollars.
Yeah.
He has a beautiful model girlfriend, and they're living their lives, and he's been buying money and stuff like that. He's not charged with anything. He had a 5-year, he's supposed to be in jail for 5 years. He served
For
3
5 months.
for
5 months, I
something,
think it was. Yeah.
something that was not necessary, and he's living his life and he's living his dreams.
But before we talk about him though, let's talk about that lady that was his baby mama, that she brought charges against him because it was like these two women were not the first charges. It was like the first woman found about him because she was doing some digging and she found that he actually went to jail before for the same thing, for swindling people or whatever out of their money. And one of the names was the woman that she met, that he was like, oh, this is my baby's mother. She met the child, and she was talking him up. The baby mother was talking him up like, oh no, he's such a good father. He takes care of me and my
Because she's getting
daughter.
some money.
Even though, no, but I mean, that is just sick.
She's getting money though. She doesn't care.
I don't care, but that's sick.
She cares about her kid. And she cares
No,
about
I feel she's using that kid as an excuse, because it's like now you sent him to jail for what he did to you, but you're okay with him doing it to other women because that gives you some type of benefit. That's just sick.
I mean, how many women? There's women that do that.
I'm not saying that people are not out there that do that, but that's just sick.
There's women that do that. Like, I mean, think about it. There's women who are abused. Also, think about it. She might be not mentally, but emotionally abused by this man, and we don't know. And so, I mean, look at some of my situations where I had a very abusive person in my life, and he's been very abusive to other people as well. But because he's done such a good job of messing them up, they don't really consider a lot of things that he did as abusive. They considered it like good. And if anything, they still will talk nicely about this person, even though he has done abusive things.
But I feel if you took it where he's now, you sent him to jail.
But now she's making money off of it. So why
That's
should
what I feel like that's just
because you know what the whole thing is? Well, he did it to her. He did it to me. So I don't care because I already dealt with that myself. That's my thing. Now somebody else could deal with it. Somebody else could have the same problem. Somebody else could do it. I suffered, you suffer, because there are women
there are
like that.
people like that. I mean, not just women, there's men and women like that. It's just sick. But one thing about him that I will say,
he was an attractive man.
No, but if you saw his before pictures, you like he had an upgrade. But I feel like when it comes to men, it doesn't always deal with the attractiveness of the man. It deals with like the personality that they're showing you, how you're interacting with him. And he seemed like I said, a lot of things when you hear the voice messages, because once again, I am not a romantic, it made me gag. But it's like his suaveness, and then like what they were like, oh, but he remembered everything about me, and like he put in a lot of work, he remembered everything about me, like the little details and stuff like that, why I felt like he loved and cared for me. If I was feeling down, he would just fly me out to wherever.
Listen, when you're working and you're getting paid 6 figures from one person, you're gonna remember everything about them.
No, but he put in, like, I'm gonna say, like,
you're a job.
No, he put in work in this, you know what I mean? And it's like he figured out how, like, he kept, like, all of them, he sent them the same videos. Like I wrote down here, like, the first month, like he will be with them for a month, and then he will then start asking them for money. Then the second, second month or third month, then it will be like, oh, my enemies are following me. Then he'll send the videos and everything of the bodyguard bleeding and all kind of stuff. But there's one that I was like, okay, they should have known something was wrong, because number one, if I'm your girlfriend and you have enemies, I need a bodyguard too. And you're a billionaire. You're supposed to be paying for a bodyguard for me too, because that third girl, and I think that's why she was like she was, she actually got beaten up, that she had bruises, she broke her teeth, she had a black eye and everything because of his enemies and everything. From then I'm like, if you're my boyfriend and you telling me that we're gonna get married, we're gonna have kids, you have a bodyguard, I should have a bodyguard too. And then on top of that, when with the second one, which was the friend, when they would go to the club, his bodyguard will be getting drunk. How are you a bodyguard if you
that didn't make any sense?
And high with everybody else?
Weird too. She said it. She's like, she saw the bodyguard and he was drinking and everything else, but she's like, okay, well, because it didn't make sense to her. She said it, and the thing she said, the second one, she was like, I didn't think this was
she didn't feel comfortable, so she left the party or whatever.
Because she was like, this is not the crowd that I'm used to. Other than that, like, dude, I can say was a great manipulator. So he has some kind of intelligence, and he was trying to escape the lifestyle that he had before because he didn't like it. I mean, he left his mother. It made me sad because she was like, he changed his name. There's nobody that lives here anymore with that name. He's gone. And this sounds horrible, if he even sent money to her, which it didn't seem like he sent any money to her, like he didn't do this for his family. He did this for himself. And I'm not saying it's right if he did it for his family, but then that would have been like, oh,
you could say that was his motivation. Yeah.
Family, because who hasn't done, I mean, you do things for your family to survive. I know people who do illegal things, but the money goes to their family. Not to say illegal things are great, but it goes to their family. I mean, we lived in the Bronx. How many people have done illegal things just to have their family survive? This dude is narcissistic, he's selfish, he has some kind of problems, He probably was, you know, picked on as a kid, abused as a child from people, and he wanted to show people, look at me now, look at me. I have this money. He didn't care about anybody else's feelings, because you know what? His feelings probably were hurt at one point in time. He was probably hurt. He's a deeply hurt person, and he fills that void with money, and he doesn't care who he hurts. He's a freaking tornado. He deserves a really, like, he deserves some things to come back at him. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna wish bad upon him, but something needs to happen, and karma needs to show up
Yeah,
somewhere,
because he
did it.
sees that he's able to get away with it. Like, once someone, and this is the second time he got away with it. You know what I mean? So like, once you're able to get away with it, you're just going to continue doing it, because the fact that he has the audacity to go back on Tinder to now make his own business, he has not learned, because he keeps getting away with it. So if he keeps getting away with it, he's just gonna be like, okay, well, next time I'll just know how to cover all my bases a little bit better. But it's just like, it's just something that it makes you really see that, you know what, there's good in the world, but you have to wise up to what's really going on. you know um yes, things may seem rosy and cherry and perfect, but when things are looked way too good and things are coming off as a movie, you probably
You should
need
second
to.
guess it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because there are people who have. I know a couple, and they met on Tinder. I mean, this was not the lifestyle she thought. She was going to head back, apparently, to Korea and go back there. She met this guy. They went on a date. Since I was living up here in Kingston, they've been together probably for more than 6 years, and now they're married. It happens. But when it's like that, and somebody wants to like you said before, borrow money from you off after 16 hours, it felt like it was such a short period of time, and you haven't seen this guy for more than 2 days, for 2 times, for a whole day. You didn't even see him for a whole day. You saw him for a couple of hours. There's something wrong, and it's horrible. And as people, and as friends, and as a community, if you see, Monique, something was wrong, you need to tell me. Her friends didn't even help her. Her family didn't even help her. Nobody told her this is wrong. You can't be that naive. You can't.
And the worst thing, when I listened to it, she actually ended up in a psychiatric ward. Like, she ended up admitting herself when all of this went down, because she started questioning herself at this point. Like, why is it that I'm still liking this person? I'm paranoid everywhere I go because his enemies are now after me, type of thing. But I don't know. I just feel like, we had to be aware of things. Notice what happens in other people. Don't ever think that something cannot happen to you because you're so special or you're so different than everyone else. And you know what, like, talk to other people and kind of expand your friendship or your circle, where not everyone has the same opinion as you. I mean, yes, you could get along with them, but they all are not yes people. Like, these are people that will actually tell you the truth. But just be careful when you're out there, because it's like I said, he didn't just do this for dating. He did this in other areas that was not just dating. He did this in business. He did this with childcare. He did this in other areas, that
wherever he could.
You just have to be careful when you meet people, and just know that if something seems too good to be true, take heed. But we would very like to, if you haven't seen it, watch it, because I know we were just heated because we just watched it, and we're coming with all these
When I found out he
emotions.
got away with everything, I was just like, why? What? Why? How?
Because he did this in so many countries. Like, it wasn't just one country.
I don't see how. This is the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. They're like, well, it was because of friendship and all this other stuff. But there's text messages that say, I need my money. And him saying, okay, I'm going to pay you. Now, here in the States, that could get you your money back. because he said yes. He didn't say, no, I don't owe you money. He said, yes, I'll pay you. If you didn't pay me, you owe me that money still. You still
But he
owe
has
me
no
that,
money to give.
even if it's French. Well, now he does. Now he does.
Somebody else's money.
Yeah, he has somebody else's money, but it's in his bank account. Give it to me. Mine. You have a business? Mine. Because I now have a text message. Here's my text message. And this is because me and Monique watch so much law and stuff like that. You don't know how many court shows I watch and everything else. It says, you owe me money. Okay, I'm going to pay you. Okay, that's your agreement. Pay them the money. And I think he owes them. If not, then you need to go to jail.
But it just shows you that
I guess it's different in Europe or something like that.
No, but it just shows you that the system doesn't work together. The system doesn't help one another. Because remember, in Israel, he was a wanted fugitive. And it was like no one, but he was able to travel all over the world, but no
How did
one
he get out of
this is no one notified
center?
no one notified anyone because he kept on going on different passport names. So no one was really checking out for him or really alerting everyone else in the other countries that this is a person that, you know, if you see his picture or whatever, you need to notify us because he has some charges that he needs to face here. But it just shows you like it sounds sad, but the world is not going to look out for you as you may hope that it's going to look out for you. You have to look out for yourself.
Because you know it's wrong. That's the whole thing. You understand the severity of things. So you're like, okay, people are going to see it my way. People are going to see it because it makes sense. This is what happened. Even though it made sense, he still didn't get anything done to him.
No, because this is how the laws are set up.
And it sucks.
No, that's like it's like in this world, the world doesn't work for you. It's like you have to wise up and look out for yourself. And I hope that people who watch this, you know, they've learned something from it. Like, you know, don't, like I said before, don't think that something like this can never happen to you. I'm tough and big and bad, because I would never say that this would never happen to me, because, you know, I probably haven't met that person that figured out how to work my buttons. But just be aware that, you know, in this life, you kind of have to look out for yourself, and you have to be aware of not only what's happening to you, but what's happening to other people, that you could hopefully prevent it from happening to you.
Exactly. I agree.
All right, so we're going to end it here. If you did watch the Tinder Swindler, leave a comment below and tell us, like, what did you think of the whole movie and the scenario? And if you think that if there's a way that, you know, justice could be given to these victims, and how you think he could be stopped, that he doesn't continue to do this to other people once the story dies down.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, bye everyone.